What if I told you that McLaren didn't bring a major update to Australia? Because it didn't need it. What if the MCL40's real leap is not in a new part, but in something much more dangerous for its rivals? A car completely understood, validated and ready to be exploited from the first lap. After the Bahrain tests, both Piastri and Norris got out of the car with an unusual feeling at the start of a season under new regulations: total confidence. There were no dramas, no reliability scares, no unpredictable behavior that forced you to start from scratch. What there was something much more disturbing for the rest of the grid: consistency. And when a team combines extreme reliability, more than 1,000 turns of real data and a solid technical platform from day one, that is no coincidence. That's a threat. McLaren arrives in Australia with a decision that, on the surface, may seem conservative, but is actually deeply ambitious: not to touch what already works. After the Bahrain test, the team did not need to announce a specific mega package for Melbourne because the real work had already been done. The MCL40 is not a car that depends on a miracle update to be competitive. It is a technical platform built on an extremely solid foundation, validated kilometer by kilometer and understood in every phase of its behavior. And that, at the beginning of a season under new regulations, is an advantage that is worth gold. In Secure, the focus was not on finding the fastest time holder. It was building understanding. More than 1,100 laps completed between shakedown and official tests. More than 5,700 kilometers accumulated without serious reliability problems. Long runs with different fuel loads, methodical setup variations, controlled aerodynamic tests, experiments in tire management and carefully calibrated power unit maps. Every outing on the track had a purpose. Each stint was part of a plan. The team wasn't improvising. I was consolidating the technical basis of the project and validating that the correlation between simulator, wind tunnel and track was accurate. This internal coherence is what allows us to arrive in Australia with real confidence and not with superficial optimism. What is most striking about the MCL40 is not an extravagant solution or a radical concept, but precisely the opposite. It is a sensible, cohesive, well-integrated car. The rear area shows refined work in cooling and flow management, with a design that prioritizes stability and efficiency. There are no extreme bets that compromise the operating window of the car. And that translates into something that drivers value above all else in the first races of the year: predictability. When a driver knows how the car will react when braking hard, when attacking the apex or when applying power at the start, he can push without fear. And when you can push without fear, time appears. One of the most relevant points of the MCL40 is its aerodynamic stability. We are not talking about aggressive load peaks that then disappear when the wind changes or when the car enters dirty air. We are talking about a platform that maintains coherence in medium and high-speed curves, which does not punish the driver with unexpected oversteer on entry or structural understeer on exit. That predictability is pure gold at Albert Park, a circuit that combines fast areas with technical braking in sectors where confidence is absolutely decisive. If the pilot hesitates, he loses tenths. If you trust, you win. Furthermore, tire management can become a key strategic weapon. In the tests, it was seen that the car is capable of maintaining pace without abrupt degradation peaks. That means they can extend stints, play with undercuts or even push harder in qualifying, knowing that the car will not compromise the race due to overheating. On a track where track position is essential, having a car that does not punish the tires allows you to be aggressive when the moment demands it. Another critical point is the technical correlation. When what you see in the simulator matches what happens on the track, the margin for strategic error is drastically reduced. And McLaren worked obsessively on that correlation during pre-season. This is not a minor detail. It means that setup decisions for Australia are not based on guesswork, but rather on validated models. It means that changes between sessions can be surgical, not experimental. And on a weekend where every session counts, that can make decisive differences. And here the human factor comes in. Both Norris and Piastri face an unusual situation at the beginning of the season. They do not need to adapt to an unpredictable car. They can focus on squeezing it out. When the driver is not busy correcting structural defects, he can work on refinements. Lines, braking points, energy management, corner exit optimization. The mental margin changes. Trust changes. And that translates into pure performance. The most interesting thing is that McLaren does not seem to have reached its ceiling. The MCL40 is not a car that is already at the conceptual limit. It is a car with room for development. And that's another reason why they haven't needed a radical package for Australia. When the architecture is well designed, Each subsequent evolution rests on a stable foundation. They are not correcting errors, they are adding performance. At this point, the scenario begins to take shape. A reliable, consistent, well-understood car with aerodynamic stability and good tire management in the hands of two drivers who have already demonstrated in 2024 that they can fight at the top when they have competitive tools. And if we add to that the rest of the grid is still adjusting more extreme concepts or correcting structural problems, the threat becomes evident. Australia will be the first real test under pressure. Not the laboratory one, not the controlled one of the tests. That of traffic, dirty air, strategic changes and real risk. And that is where we will see if that silent improvement of the MCL40, that improvement that is not seen, but that is felt, becomes a statement of strength. Because sometimes in Formula One, the most dangerous team is not the one that revolutionizes, it is the one that understands what it already has before anyone else. Australia is not a forgiving circuit. It is semi-urban, narrow in several sectors, with nearby walls and a constant evolution of the track during the weekend. Here it is not enough to have a fast car in ideal conditions. You need a car that responds exactly the same on lap 5 as on lap 45, that does not radically change its balance when the fuel goes down, that does not destroy the tires when the asphalt rises in temperature. And that's precisely the kind of car McLaren has built with the MCL40. The real improvement is not in a new piece visible in photographs. It is in the structural stability of performance. If the car maintains aerodynamic coherence when entering dirty air, if the rear does not become nervous when the driver pushes in qualifying, if energy management allows it to defend or attack without compromising temperatures, then McLaren will not only be competitive, it will be consistent. And consistency in the first races of the year can be worth more than an isolated speed peak. This is where methodical preseason work can become a strategic advantage. An understood car allows for calculated aggressive decisions. It allows the team to anticipate stopping windows, adjust pressures and maps without improvisation, and react to a safety car without fear of mechanical surprises. In a Grand Prix where historically chaos can appear at any moment, having technical clarity is a competitive shield. But there is something even more important, the mental margin of the pilots. Norris and Piastri don't arrive in Australia wondering what the car will do at turn 9 or if degradation will appear abruptly. They come knowing how the machine responds. And when a pilot fully trusts his tool, the focus changes. He no longer drives to survive, drive to maximize. You are no longer correcting defects, is looking for tents. This is the moment where we will see if that silent improvement becomes a public statement. If in qualifying the MCL40 shows that it can attack a lap without compromising balance, if in the race it maintains pace without punishing tires, if strategically the team is precise and determined, then the narrative will quickly change. We will no longer talk about a solid car. We will talk about a real contender. And the most disturbing thing for the rest of the grid is that this seems only the starting point. Because when a car is born well understood, subsequent development is not reactive, it is cumulative. Each evolution rests on a firm foundation. Each improvement adds without destabilizing. And that makes the MCL40 more than just competitive in Australia, it makes it a platform with projection. In short, McLaren's improvements with the MCL40 for the Australian GP cannot be summed up in a spectacular evolution or in a revolutionary piece that changes the silhouette of the car. The real improvement is much deeper and, at the same time, more dangerous for its rivals. It is a completely validated technical base, almost impeccable reliability and a total understanding of the car's behavior after the Bahrain tests. While other teams are still searching for answers, adjusting extreme concepts or trying to correct structural imbalances, McLaren arrives at Albert Park with something that cannot be bought or improvised: clarity. Clarity about its aerodynamic window, clarity about tire degradation, clarity about energy management, and, above all, clarity about how the car reacts when the driver pushes it to the limit. That internal confidence is what left even Piastri and Norris stunned after the preseason, because it is not usual to start a new regulatory cycle with such an understandable car. The MCL40 is not an experiment. It is a solid platform. It's not a radical concept that takes weeks to figure out. It is a coherent project that has already demonstrated consistency in long runs, stability in different fuel loads, and a precise technical correlation between simulator and track. And when a car is born like this, the margin for growth is orderly, not chaotic. Each future improvement will build on a firm foundation. Let me know in the comments what you think about all this.